Our final set of notes before the 9 weeks exam is on what's called function notation, which is basically another way of just solving equations. Now, up until now, most of our equations have been like y equals something, something with x in it. You just plug in the x and solve for it. In upper level math, after Algebra 1 and pretty much after this semester, they're not going to refer to most equations with y equals too much. They're going to use what's called function notation. So instead of saying y, they're going to show you this f and parentheses x. It's actually written, and it's pronounced a very specific way. It's pronounced, and you'll write it down here, f of x. The f stands for a function, which is just fancy for equation. And you read it as f of x. They can change the letter in the front, and they can change the letter inside, but the most common form you're going to see is what's called f of x. Now, most of us, and let's be honest, most of us don't read the top of these notes, do we? No, we don't. But we learn a lot better when we just kind of jump into the problems and start working them out. And that's what we're going to do right now. So I'll explain the first one and pronounce it the right way, and then you guys will pretty much catch on really fast and see that it's the same thing over and over again. So let me read number 1 to you. We're asked to evaluate all these functions in the equation form. So the number 1 reads, let f of x equal 7x minus 4. So this f and x, it's pronounced, and I'll put it in quotes again, f of x. So they give us this function, and its rule is 7x minus 4. They want us to evaluate, which is another word for solve. They want us to solve this equation if we change the x's to a positive 3. They want to know what we would get. So our first step, and this is a good solid rule for any time you problem solve in algebra or in science class, is to write the function equation all over again. So f of x equals 7x minus 4. That's the first step. Just rewrite the entire function all over again. Now, we're going to rewrite it and substitute the x. What number do they want us to plug in for x? 3. So anywhere I see an x, I'm going to plug in the 3. What is happening between 7 and x?
It's being multiplied.
Correct. So I'll make sure to put a 3 in parentheses to indicate that same multiplication. So now we have f of 3 is equal to 7 times 3 minus 4. So I want to know what is the answer of this function when I plug in a 3. So let's go ahead and do PEMDAS. Very good. PEMDAS says we would do 7 times 3 first, which is 21, minus 4, which is what? And please verify with your calculator because third period kept giving me the wrong answer, and they were so passionate about the wrong answer.
17.
Thank you for not doing what third period did. They kept saying 18 over and over again, and they were just adamant it was 18. And I think they had their pre-lunch brains going on. So this is all it is. F of 3 equals 17. That means this function, when we plug in a 3, we get 17 for an answer, and that's it. There's absolutely nothing extra to this. All we do is plug it in and solve. So let's question so far on this first one. It's okay if you don't totally grasp it 100%, but are there any questions about the math I did so far? Yes.
So pretty much, if it's like evaluate f and then it has a number, it's pretty much saying like multiply the number that it has.
It means plug in that number, and if it wants to multiply, then you apply. Yeah, you do whatever the rule says. If it has multiplication, then you multiply. If it has adding, then you add. If it has subtracting, whatever. All you do is plugging in and solving. That's it. And at the most, it should be as a 2-step equation. So let's try the next one now. The next one, number 2, is read, let g of x equal negative 5x plus 2. Evaluate for g of negative 7. So just for a note for yourself, this is pronounced g of x. And our first step is to write the function all over again. So g of x equals negative 5x plus 2. What number are they going to want, or are they asking me to substitute in for x?
Negative 7.
All right, so we're going to solve the g function for negative 7. So anywhere I see an x, I'm going to plug in a negative 7. So it becomes negative 5 times negative 7 plus 2. It's another 2-step equation here. So if I keep going, I'm going to find the answer of g of negative 7. And let's go ahead and follow PEMDAS. Make sure you verify with your calculator before you blurt out any answers. What is negative 5 times negative 7? 35. Plus 2 more? 37. And that is all the work we have for this function. So the function g of negative 7 equals 37. When we take the g function, we plug in a negative 7 into it, we get a 37 out for an answer. Pretty easy, I hope, so far. Is there anything that you're just not grasping yet, other than the weird pronouncing of those names like f of x and g of x? All right, if you think you know what's going on, by all means, start number 3. I have a feeling most of you guys probably can run with this. And some people even finish the whole paper like in 2 minutes, third period. So if you feel like you know that strong, by all means, go ahead. I'll keep explaining. Number 3 is read, let f of x equal 4 times x plus 6 in parentheses. Evaluate f of negative 4. So I'm going to rewrite my function, f of x equals 4 times parentheses x plus 6. Make my x a little better there. What number am I substituting in for x?
Negative 4.
Negative 4. So anywhere I see an x, I'll plug in a negative 4. So, oops, my negative 4s. There you go. If you did parentheses first, you have 4 times whatever negative 4 plus 6 is. What is negative 4 plus 6? 2. And then,
Negative 2? Or is it just 2?
you tell me. You guys have calculators. You tell me. It is positive 2 indeed. And what is 4 times 2 going to give us? Positive 8. Thank you. So this function, for f, when we plug in a negative 4, we get 8 for an answer. Any questions on these top 3? Anyone have any points of confusion? Try getting the last 3 done.
My confusion was how I got negative 16 plus 6.
Yeah, I think you did some negative mistakes there, maybe. Make sure you use your calculator for every step. It just will not hurt you whatsoever.
Right.
It can only help you.
Because I got a whole negative 16 plus 6.
Yeah, go ahead and fix that. Try fixing it right for the next one, number 4. So you can get that one set up correctly. We change my color here. So this function is read g of x. It's g of x equals 9 times whatever x is minus 28. Evaluate g of 5. So I'm going to rewrite the function from the very beginning. G of x equals 9 times whatever x is minus 28. I'm going to replace all my x's with what number for this one?
5.
With 5s. So equals 9 times 5 minus 28 in parentheses. To get my g of 5 answer, I have to first do the inside parenthesis work. So someone tell me, what is 5 minus 28? Negative what? Negative 23. And then I need to multiply that negative 23 times positive 9. And what does that give you? Negative 207 is correct. Be careful with that 5 minus 28, guys. It's always in that negative world where most mistakes are made. I don't doubt that you guys have the processing skills for this. It's just that since we rush in our heads, we make those little mistakes. So please keep using your calculator to verify answers. All right, any questions about number 4? Anyone have number 5 and 6 done yet already? Just wondering if you guys got that far. Okay, so then just check my work as I go through it, and let me know if there's any major issues or anything. So we have f of x. The function is f of x equals 2 times parentheses x plus 18, and then a plus 2 at the end. So this is a 1, 2, 3 step equation. I'm going to substitute all my x's with what number? With a positive 6. So anywhere I see an x, I plug in a positive 6. We're going to do PEMDAS again. So before I can multiply the 2 in the front of parentheses, I have to find out what is 6 plus 18. Anyone get that answer? I heard someone say it. Positive 24. So now I have 2 times 24 plus 2. We have to do multiplication before addition. So 2 times 24? 48. Plus 2 more? 50. So f of 6 should equal 50. People who finished this in advance, is that what you got? All right, cool. Last one. Get that one done all by yourself now. I'll wait a few moments while either you guys here in the classroom or anyone who's watching this later after the fact takes a few moments to go ahead and try to solve the last one in full completion. all the way to the very end with an answer. And I'll slowly go in there and start writing in and filling in everything and explaining the process. So first step, the one that no one should get wrong, is just rewriting the actual function all over again. G of x equals 5 parentheses times x minus 10 minus 14. G of x, oops, my bad, not x. I'm going to replace all my x's with negative 2's, is what you guys did who are working on it. Now, if there's a mistake to be made, it's going to happen right now in the parentheses. So let's see how many of you guys did not make the mistake. If you subtracted correctly, negative 2 minus 10 more should have taken you down to negative 12. Anyone not get that or have an issue with that? With negative 2 minus 10 more being negative 12? So it looks like we have some agreement there. 5 times negative 12 is negative 60 minus 14 more. So we're going to get a pretty big, oops, that's a G. We're going to get a pretty big negative number of, did you guys get negative 74? Yeah. Then you guys did it absolutely correct. So all function notation is they replace the letter y with like g of x, f of x, h of x, p of k, r of q, whatever letters they want to use. It just means they give you an equation, they give you a number to plug in, you solve it. Are there any questions about this?
No.
Cool. Well, good job, guys, and that's all I have for you today.